So I mentioned that suppose I am in Delhi and my watch says that in 1 minute there are 60 seconds, and suddenly I planned to travel to Hyderabad, and when I went to Hyderabad, a police person told me that no sir, your watch cannot tell 60 seconds in 1 minute. Here in Hyderabad we believe that in 1 minute there are 120 seconds. Now in that case what will happen? I'll be shouting on the policeman, how can you do this? When I am in Delhi, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. The policeman says, no, I will put you in the jail if you do not agree that 1 minute is 120 seconds. So there lies a conflict. There lies a conflict between me and the policeman. Similarly, there can be a number of conflicts when the people are discussing across India, across world, across globe, right? So in order to eliminate all such differences, in order to eliminate all such discussions, system of units were introduced. Now one of the system is known as SI, another is known as the CGS. One of the system is known as CGS, another is known as the SI. Let me tell you more in detail what is the meaning of SI system. Now SI represents the system international, systemi internationally. Now I'm not writing the spelling wrong here. This is the actual spelling in some other language, and the meaning of which is this is an international system which is adapted globally in order to provide the uniformity. So what is the need of providing these systems? To provide the very first point is to provide the uniformity. To provide uniformity. Uniformity in what? It provides the uniformity in the measurements, uniformity across the globe, that everyone, whether a person is in Delhi, a person is in Hyderabad, or a person is in New York, Paris, London, anywhere on the planet, all of them should understand the meaning of a unit as same. Like 1 minute should have 60 seconds on every place of this planet, right? Now this system is, see what is the difference between two? This is C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, and S stands for seconds. Whereas this system is made up of internationally accepted notations, that is for length we have meter. This is again for length, right? This is for length. For mass in this system we have gram, and for time we have seconds. But here in this system for length we have meter, for mass we consider kilogram as the unit, and for time the unit remains same, that is second, right? So this is your globally accepted, this is your globally accepted system, and this is your locally accepted system. Locally accepted, like for certain projects, for a particular project or a particular country or a particular state, this system can be adopted. Whereas if you want to have a global outlook of your project, you need to understand that SI system is globally accepted. Alright students, now having mentioned this, that there are two sort of systems, one is SI system, another is CGS system. Both the systems are equally good. Now if you will ask which one is better, the better is SI system. Why? Because if I consider the mathematical operations, if I consider the calculations, this provides the ease of measurements. So what is this providing? Ease of measurement or calculations. So SI system is overall a good kind of system, and this is accepted global, right students? So here I mentioned the basic difference between the two type of system to you guys. Now why I mentioned this to you people? I mentioned this to you guys because now I'll be telling you the 7 basic units, the 7 basic units which are globally accepted as the basic units by SI system. Alright, now let us come to this. Let us come to this. In order to understand this, I'll write the heading as per SI system, 7 units are basic fundamental units. Basic fundamental units. Now, what are these 7 units? We will be discussing, right? Let me explain this to you. For this, we will be making a wonderful chart. This is the first column of the chart. This is going to be the second column. This is going to be third column, and this is going to be fourth column. Now, in the first column, we will be writing about the physical quantity, right? Which physical quantity are we discussing about, right? So first column will give you the physical quantity, right? First column will give you the name of the physical quantity. This will give you the unit as per the SI system. This will give you the SI unit. In fact, I'll write it more specifically. This will give you the SI unit. This will give you the CGS unit. And here in the last column, we will be telling you the notation. What is the notation? How we represent a particular name or a particular quantity, right? Now, let us make this line a bit better so that you guys do not have any sort of confusions. Now, first physical quantity, I will be writing this with white ink so that it is crystal clear to all of you. The very first quantity which, see, there are 7 basic quantities. Let me tell you first and then I'll be writing it. The very first quantity is measuring the weight or the mass. When I measure the mass, I measure it in kilograms, I measure it in grams, right? So first is the mass. Second is the length. I measure the dimension as the length. Then third is time. Fourth is your temperature. Fifth is nothing but your electricity, your current, right? Sixth is your molecule, it comes from chemistry. Seventh is your light intensity, right? All right, let us write down one by one so that you have absolute clarity over it. All right, first physical quantity, as I mentioned, is mass. The SI unit of mass is kg, that is your kilogram. This is your kilogram. We mentioned this here also. This is kg, right? As per SI and as per CGS system, this is G, that means gram, and notation of mass is given as M. Wherever we will be discussing in the dimensions in the coming chapters, we will be denoting mass by M. Alright, now let us come to the second. Second is given as the length. The length is denoted in the SI unit by M. M stands for meter. M stands for meter. In the CGS, it is given by cm, that is your centimeter, right, students? And it is denoted by L. Now, third physical quantity is your mass first, second length, third is your time. Third is always your time, right? So this is your time. Now, this time is denoted by S, that is seconds here in the SI also, and S seconds here in the CGS also, and this is denoted by the capital T, right? Now, the fourth quantity which is coming into the consideration, is temperature. The fourth quantity which is coming into the consideration is your temperature. Now, this temperature, see, for the temperature we are having two different units. For the SI system we are having different, and for the CGS system we are having different. For the SI system we represent it by K, that means Kelvin, and in the CGS system we represent it by C, that is your Celsius, or somewhere you may find it as centigrade also. Now coming to the fifth Now the fifth quantity or the fifth physical quantity which we are going to discuss here is your current. This is coming from the chapter electricity. Now the current in the SI system, see, there is only one notation for the current, only one unit for the current, whether it is SI system or it is CGS system. In the SI system it is going to be A, that is ampere. Similarly here also it is A, that is ampere. And now if you want to denote it, this is denoted by I or A. Alright, and we did not discuss about the denotation of this, how this is not, how the temperature is noted, how we note the temperature, right? See, the notation of temperature will be discussing in detail in the heat chapter also, but here let me write it. This is denoted by this, right? Now sixth physical quantity which we are taking into consideration is coming from your chemistry part. All of you must have heard in the chemistry that in the chemistry, molecule, what it is? Molecule. So molecule, sixth quantity is your molecule. It is represented by molecule. A molecule is represented by mole in both the systems, right? And there is no such notation of it. All right. Now seventh is coming from your light intensity. Now the point is, what I am saying is, the seventh unit, the seventh basic fundamental unit, what we are studying about basic fundamental units. The seventh basic fundamental unit of physics which is accepted internationally as per the SI system is light intensity, or the luminous intensity also you can call. This is denoted by candela. Candela is the unit for it, right? Or CD. You will be studying it in very details when we'll be going into the light chapter, right? So these seven are the basic fundamental units which we are going to study in the coming times. Also, let me explain it very clearly to you guys that these seven are the basic units, the fundamental units. Why they are called fundamental units? Let me repeat it for you guys. Because every other parameter, every other unit can be derived from this particular unit, right? From this particular units. So all the derived units, whether it is velocity, whether it is speed, whether it is acceleration, whether it is energy, and everything we will be deriving from these seven fundamental units. All right. So let us move to the next part of this chapter. And before we move to the next part, let me tell you, apart from these seven fundamental units, there are two supplementary units also. There are two supplementary units also, which I'll tell you right now. Please listen, you guys, very carefully. Supplementary units. What are the supplementary units? Supplementary units are those units. Supplementary units are those units which, I'm repeating it for you, they are those units which will be supplementing the basic units in order to derive the major units, right? So they will be helping. I'll just name them to make more clarity in your mind. The first is plane angle, and second is solid angle. Now let me make it very clear for you guys. Plane angle is still a simpler concept. Solid angle is a very big concept which we'll be discussing in the future. So eliminating it for now, crossing it for now, in the future we'll study. But plane angle, I'm going to explain you guys right now how it works. Now suppose this is a circle, right? This is a circle having a center as O. This is the center O, right? Now this center O, with the help of two radii R, each radius is R, subtending an angle theta in such a way that the length of arc is L. Let me repeat the condition for you guys. Condition says there is a circle with a center O having the radius r is subtending an angle theta at the center in such a way that the length of the arc, this arc you guys can be able to see this easily. This is the length of the arc, right? So this length of the arc, right? Now let me tell it that this plane angle theta is given by a very basic formula, that is L by R. This is given by a very basic formula, that is theta is equal to L by R, where L is your length of arc, where L is your length of arc and R is the radius of circle, radius of circle. Now say this very clearly you guys and try to understand what is a plane angle. I am repeating it. A plane angle is the angle subtended at the center of a circle in such a way. See, this is one radius, this is second radius, right? Length of arc is what? Your L, right? So theta is given by L by R. Alright guys. Now if you want to understand it a bit further, I will explain you a few more things. Now suppose I consider that this length of arc is entire circle, entire circumference. Now suppose I consider the entire circumference. Suppose I consider the entire circumference of this circle with the radius r. This will be 2 pi r. This will be what, beta? This will be 2 pi r, my dear students. Now if this is 2 pi r, this is 2 pi r, can I write theta is equal to 2 pi r divided by r? What it became? Theta became 2 pi. Theta became 2 pi, right? Theta became 2 pi. Now remember this when I'll be telling you this circular motion, right? When we'll be discussing about the circles or the rotational motion, when we'll be discussing about the concepts of rotation, please remember this, that I told you this concept that entire circumference can replace the length of arc. But for now, you need to remember only one thing, that a plane angle is nothing but any angle subtended at the center with the help of length of arc L having the radii r, right? Now these two are the supplementary units. Solid angle we'll be discussing in the future. So with the help of this, we are done with the basic units. Now units will be further understood with the help of the dimensions. So the next part which we'll be studying will be the dimensions, with the help of which we will be exploring more about the units, basic units, derived units and everything. Alright guys, so see you in the next video where we'll be discussing about these units. Thank you so much guys. Thank you.